Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Mock Girl Summer, Women of Fantasy Football's mock draft show here on both the Club Fantasy and WOFF YouTube channels. I'm your host, Wendi Earley, and I'm so pumped to welcome in my co-host from Fantasy Footballers, Football Guys, and the grandma of Mock Girl Summer, Julia Papworth. How's it going, Julia?
I'm good. It is so late already. It's 7:00.
I know.
And this is the
I
thing.
know.
This is the thing. I'm not as bad during the summer because it's light out, but in the winter, when it starts getting dark at like 5 p.m., I want to go to bed right away. So
you're already getting ready to,
I own that.
hit the hay, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I know you had a very long day of filming today. We are going to talk about that later.
Yeah.
But in tonight's episode, we'll be covering a good old single QB redraft. It's a single QB PPR, no third round reversal. We are kind of in the home leagues, office leagues now, and the big ones have gone through already. Most of the Scott Fish Bowls are finishing, so now we need to help people for this. And most people don't even know what third round reversal is when you're in the smaller leagues. So we're going to do that. But our special guest tonight is Ryan Hallam at Fighting Chance, an IPA connoisseur. Welcome, Ryan. How are you doing tonight?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you so much for having me. I am looking forward to doing a draft that isn't super flex, tight end premium, third round reversal, all these extra points. This is just a regular ass draft, and I'm really excited for it because that is, let's face it, the vast majority of our drafts. And we love Scott Fish, we love Scott Fish Bowl, everything it stands for. But yeah, it's an outlier, so it's about time to get our focus turned on normal fantasy.
Well, yep, and I agree. Thank you for joining us tonight. We can't wait to talk about everything new you have going on over at Fighting Chance. We do have a draft to start here in a minute, though. I would like, yeah, I know, it's going to be so different. We got to get out of that.
I'm here for Hot Girl Summer. I'm here for Hot Girl Summer. So if you guys,
it works.
With a couple blondes and be blonde myself. Julia did my hair today.
I did. You know what? I do great work. I really do.
You do.
I need to know why you have that wig hanging around and where is it from? What Halloween costume was that from?
So
Halloween.
Very funny story. A couple friend of ours got together one year for my wife's birthday, and one of her friends and one of my friends met each other, and they kind of hit it off. It was September, the middle of September. And they both kind of contacted us afterwards that they were both kind of interested. And we're like, we need to get them together. So we started a Halloween party. That was 12 years ago. They're married. They have a child.
Wow.
We have a Halloween party every year. I'm not sure what this is from, but I actually, during COVID, we did a bunch of stuff on Fantasy Alarm with live streams and everything with Jen Piacenzi. And I, donned this one time because I was filling in for her. So I thought, what better way to bring it back than with you guys?
There is no better way.
I love it.
All right. So I want to quickly run through, thank our drafters. I'm telling you guys, we have some rock star friends. It's like you drop these mock drafts in the chat and everybody just jumps in and helps out. And, thank you guys. So we do want to remind everyone that this is a single QB PPR with no third round reversal. This mock is made for home and work leagues as we are trying to get out of the Scott Fish Bowl, Best Ball, Superflex modes, and focus on these home and work leagues so you can crush them. So I think we are going to get this ball rolling. I'm going to go ahead and start, and then we are going to talk. Okay, there we go. All right. Oh, hey, Ryan's on the clock first.
There you go, Ryan.
I mean, this is an easy one, right? I mean, it doesn't even matter that I'm a 49ers fan. I mean, the guy is just an absolute beast. So he's scoring 15 straight games. It's Christian McCaffrey. I don't think there's even a second to decide here.
Well, and that's the thing, too. I mean, even if you're in a super flex, you can still pick him first, right?
Yeah, I mean, I tend to go quarterback early in super flex, but I see nothing wrong with McCaffrey. Like, he puts up quarterback numbers, and this is really hot, so I'm going to go back to my hat.
They are really hot. Wigs are very hot.
But yeah, I mean, he's just an absolute beast. Rushing, receiving, he just does it all. So especially in PPR format, I think he's a consensus number one.
All right. So where's Julia drafting?
Okay, 9.
You're the 9. Was that your Scott Fish Bowl number 2?
No, I was 4 in Scott Fishbowl, and I just went, what am I gonna do? Let's try 9. So I feel like I always like in my home leagues, I'm always like 9 or 10. So let's see what happens.
I have been 9 to 12 in every draft I've done this year. So that's another reason I picked 1. I'm like, let me just
try something different. See what happens.
Well, and that's kind of been like you have the choice though. So why were you picking all of the 9 through 12 usually?
Third round reversal mostly.
Okay.
Okay, so you don't get the super stud at the top, but I felt like I picked towards the end last year in Scott Fishbowl, and I had Dak, Kirk Cousins, and Justin Jefferson, and that did really well until Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins both went down, and I was kind of sunk after that. But I was doing really well early on, so I went with the end of the draft again.
Well, and when it is a single QB, and I mean, this is a mock draft, so this is the questions that we want to ask, to try and help our people. Like, so Julia, when do you tend to take a quarterback in a single QB draft?
Well, I think this year that's a really interesting question, because this year, more than I feel like any year that I remember, there are some quarterbacks so deep down that I'm like, yeah, I'll take them. I'll wait for those puppies. Like, you can get some people in like 10th, 11th, 12th round that are decent starters, I think. And I think you can couple like 2 quarterbacks really well, right? You could get someone, you can get a rookie who's got some upside. You're going to see if they're going to hit. And then you could get like a Kirk Cousins. You can get someone like that who's a little more dependable, like a Derek Carr. Like, Derek Carr's not exciting. I'm sorry, he's not, but he's going to play every week. Play every week, and it's like you get him, maybe you get like Jaden Daniels or something. And if and when Jaden Daniels takes off, you got all that upside. And if not, you have a little bit of, it's like having like a Ford. Like, you have a Ford and you've had it for like 5 years, and it's going to start, it's going to get you where you're going. And then
dependable.
You got fancy. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, let's see what Ann does here. We'll see if Ann's going to get you there, Julia.
Don't do it, Ann. Ann.
Damn it, Ann.
She's like that, though.
Classic Ann. Well, Ann, I don't like that at all. So, all right. Well, let's go ahead and do. This is my other one that I enjoy, but it's fine. Whatever, Ann. Okay.
I like that pick.
I do too. I believe in him, and I'm not really worried about Blake Corum. So
I'm with you on that one. There's a lot of talk about Blake Corum, and we do this, I feel like, every year. The rookie running backs come in like, oh, they're going to come in, they're going to steal it from the veteran and everything, and then 90% of the time they don't, or if they do, it's late in the season when you're probably already out of it. And people also forget it's not only running the football, it's blocking for the quarterback. And the speed of the NFL game is different from the the college game. So I feel like Kyron proved himself, and although he had off-season surgery, I still think he was going to be fine.
They said, I think it was, I don't remember if it was today or yesterday, but McVay came out and said that he was way of course everyone's further ahead in their recovery at this point in time, but it was on like Coach Speak, and they were talking about like how reliable McVay really is and when he does make statements about his players. So I think he's back, he's participating. I'm not really concerned. So,
and he was great at, like, the first guy very rarely took him down. I think the Rams are on the way up.
I agree.
They showed last year, so I think that's a good pick.
I think the NFC West could be. Hold on, let me reword that. I think 75% of the NFC West will be fantastic this year. But yeah, because I think I think the Rams can be great. I think the Cardinals are going to surprise everyone, and I think the Niners will have another great year. So I think it's going to be really interesting.
I especially like that last point that you made.
I know, I have to. I mean, can I tell you, like, we're watching Receiver right now, and we're almost at the end, and I think my husband doesn't want to watch the end, the last episode.
I won't watch it.
Because he knows what's going to happen. Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet. I haven't watched any of it yet.
First of all, who they chose was perfect. They picked it's four of them. Yeah, 4 of them, 5 of them. They picked the most diverse group of people that they totally could, and they got so lucky with how those seasons unfolded that they got a lot of great content. They got great content.
And I may be biased, but I don't think I can. Like, who's more entertaining than George Kittle? Really?
No one.
I mean,
no one is
this
more
dude
entertaining.
is so awesome.
My favorite part was when he had his birthday party and Bosa showed up and he was like, Bosa doesn't leave his house for anything. Like, it was just like, he's so kind and like such a good teammate. Like, he's going to be such a good coach when he's a coach. Like, it's just,
or on TV. Yeah.
Oh my God.
My favorite was the NFC Championship game, and they're getting blown out in the first half. And he's like, at the end of the game, I'm going to say, they had us in the first half. And he told like 3 people that. And at the end, at the press conference, that's exactly what he said. And I was like, man, this guy's a gem.
He's so great. And I just love his like positive self-talk. Like that is something that's not really spoken about with professional athletes in that way, when he's just like, okay, yeah, I've got this. I will be strong. I will be strong. Like, I think it's just such a good thing.
Okay, so I have a question, Ryan.
Oh.
Yes.
Ryan, so I'm noticing a trend here. Okay, so we did have Streetsathon actually took another tight end. So I see that you took Laporta on that 2-3 turn there. So even though it's not tight end premium, you felt comfortable taking the top tight end in the 3rd round.
I got sniped again. Sorry.
No, I did. Okay, so it's a little bit of let's change it up because that's not kind of technically what I do. I could have gone Deebo Samuel there, but I feel like it's kind of like a big group of wide receivers that I'm good with. That I believe at least one of them will make it back to me. So I thought, let's change it up and let's get an advantage at a position where I love Laporta. He's a big part of the offense. After I'm on Russ St. Brown in the passing game, he's definitely number 2. So yeah, even without tight end premium, I really like the guy and partially do something different. Partially, I really, really like him. And I love Nico Collins. I really still do think I love Tank Dell. I think Diggs is a little bit on the way down, but I think Collins is the explosive playmaker still on the offense.
Does anyone agree with Uncle Ted? Olave will be a top 3 wide receiver this year.
A top 3?
Not top 3, but I love Olave. Top 10. Top 10, I like him, but 3's a lot.
3's too high because you're taking off some really great people.
This guy's got a lot of hot takes. What are you doing here, Uncle Ted?
5 will be a quarterback 1. Oh, Anthony Richardson. I was like, you are 5.
I know. I was thinking Aaron Rodgers.
Like, I know. I was like, is that an S?
What's happening? I'm fine with Anthony Richardson. I do think that the helium is just out of control.
It's so hot. People are like, I'm taking him in the 2nd round. I'm doing it. Yeah.
And you know what? The ceiling is huge. And he showed a little bit of it. But after Michael Pittman, I don't love the weapons. I like Jonathan Taylor as a running back, but man, we're counting an awful lot on this guy running the ball and scoring touchdowns. So I do like him, but man, if you take Anthony Richardson, you better take a really good backup.
Well, like what I was saying before, you can take someone like that, and you could take like a Kirk Cousins. You can take stuff like that, someone who's going to be solid and dependable. Yeah. Yeah, it's just scary. I mean, with any of those Russian quarterbacks, like the upside is so great, but like every time you watch them play football, you go, don't break them, like don't break your arm, don't break your leg, don't, hurt your knee.
I mean, he hasn't proven himself yet, but man, oh man, I feel he's going to be really good, but man, I just don't think we've seen enough.
Well, and I don't think he was never on the field with Taylor, right? They were never together. So that should be interesting to see how Richardson impacts Taylor's numbers as well and vice versa. So hopefully they use each other for good and not evil, and it's good for both. So,
and I do see that we did have a quarterback go off the board, but I think it was only because RJ's on auto right now. So that probably just pulled him off, because of the ADP. So normally in a 1 QB league, you wouldn't necessarily take a quarterback that early, correct?
He might have put that in his queue because he also took Dalton Kincaid. So he might have done that. Wanted to put those guys together, but I wouldn't have taken one that early. I don't think Ryan would have either.
No.
All right. Is anybody watching Hard Knocks with the Giants? I haven't watched that either, you guys. I am like out of it.
I'm behind on that because I've been watching receiver, but
I just took 2 Texans receivers in my first 5.
Did you do that on purpose, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think it's bad.
I mean, I really believe in the offense. All right, Keenan Allen is okay in Chicago, which is another guy I really like. But it's gotten to be crowded with DJ Moore and Adunze and Caleb Williams at quarterback. Amari Cooper, I thought about, but God, I'm really just not all that thrilled with Deshaun Watson. And then like, where else am I going? So I consider running back, and then I'm going Joe Mixon, who's also on the Texans. So I'm like, why not?
Oh God, so you were
So it's like I'm looking Texans all over the place. So
you're very pro Texans.
I love Tank Dell. I'm still pissed. Last year he was hurt on a running play at the goal line where he should have never been in the game.
Nope. And that teeny tiny leg was just cracked.
Exactly. So I mean, it might not be the best.
He's a tiny human, Wendy.
He really
he's
is.
A little baby boy. He's like what is he, like 5'8", 170?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but I could put him on my head.
I think that offense is going to be explosive, and I don't hate having two of them. I got to be honest.
No, and what is it? This is a 3 receiver league, and
yes, correct.
27 flexes, right? Yeah. So it's, I mean, yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing investing in a team that is that much offensive firepower. All right,
so I do have to ask Ryan, what IPA are you drinking tonight?
All right, so right now I'm having one that's called, it's from a brewery in central New York called Prison City. It's called
Prison City?
Prison City, yeah. It's a very good one. But the beer is called Mass Riot, which is weird because it's a New York brewery. But on deck is my absolute favorite beer, which is called Juicy Joy, which is another hazy IPA, and my favorite brewery, it's Great Life, which is about 20 minutes away, and one of my best friends is the brewer, so I will be imbibing that shortly after this one's finished.
So you already have one in the hole, is what you're saying.
I have two in the hole, Wendy. I got this one that's from another one called Other Half Brewery. That's I got that when I was in the city for the Scott Fishbowl draft that I hosted. But I don't know if we'll get to that in this show, but I have it there just in case I need it.
Well, and if anybody's going to the expo, you have a beer exchange group, don't you?
Absolutely, yeah. I drive. It takes 7.5 hours, but I don't care because I figure by the time I get to an airport and get in the flight and get back from Cleveland, and like I'm probably gonna take me that long to travel anyway. This way I can come and go as I please.
Yeah.
I can drive to restaurants or the Hall of Fame or whatever I want to do. So I always like driving to the expo, and then I can bring a cooler full of beers. And here's the best part. You go down to the bar at the DoubleTree, you get a beer. When the glass is empty, you walk back up to your hotel room, pour a new one, walk back down to the hotel lobby. There's so many of us there, they don't know who they're serving. And
I think
that's money at the expo.
That's called a pro tip.
There you go. For those of you going to the Fantasy Football Expo, that's how you do it.
Oh my God, that's funny.
So if anybody wants to be it, or if they want to be in on the beer exchange, they can reach out to you, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's a DM group. I'll be happy to add you to it.
You guys are drinking you're drinking your beer, and I'm drinking my collagen recovery drink.
All right, so
I mean that's probably the better choice, Julia.
Not a sponsor.
It's definitely a better choice. Okay, so what I have, Ryan, I went to the liquor store after dinner tonight, and I don't know if you guys can see it here. I'm not good at this. Gumball Head.
Oh, that's pretty looking.
Which is this is a very popular IPA by me, and it is out of Three Floyds Brewery in Munster, Indiana. I don't know if you've ever heard about this. I'm about a half hour from there, and they have like this once a year big deal called Dark Lord Day. I mean, you have to get tickets to that. It's like 10 to 15,000 people, and you can only get these certain beers on this particular day, and people go and wait in line for hours. It's insane. I don't know why people do that, but here we go. It is American Wheat Pale Ale. It is 5.6% alcohol by volume. So we will give it a try. Is that good? Is that a good number?
I mean, that's probably good if you don't feel like getting drunk. Yeah.
Well,
the one I'm drinking now is like 6.5. The other half that I showed you is probably 8.5.
8.5.
Oh my God!
If I smell that, Ryan, I'll be drunk.
But yeah, I like my wheelhouse is in the 6s. But
all right.
I'm well aware of Three Floyds for sure. We have the one I've had is called Zombie Dust, I believe.
Yeah, we have that. I mean, obviously we have that here, but this is.
I told you didn't have to have a beer because I was on the show.
No, it's not that bad. Okay,
You had a collagen recovery drink, Wendy.
Your face told a very different story. Then it's not that bad.
It's just so hoppy. Josh and I talked about this before the show. We are not fans of the hoppiness. It literally feels like you're drinking like ground up hops with pond scum coming out of the can. Now, it's just not for me. That's all. But you know what? I'm going to enjoy it because you came on the show, and I appreciate you, and I love you to death. So here we go. Cheers to you.
And cheers. And I feel like it's drinking a little bit of heaven. So, everyone has different tastes.
Yep. I understand.
Oh my God, that's funny.
All right, so we have some QBs going off the board, you guys.
I started a quarterback run.
I saw that. I was upset because I was going to take one.
Well, and I took because I was like, okay, because I had AJ Brown and I was deciding between Jalen Hurts and I have Mark Andrews and I was deciding between him and Lamar Jackson. So I was like, let's just
it's a big
there. Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Hey, oh, wait a minute. You're telling me Gator's not going to the expo either? You know what? The expo's canceled. Nobody's going you guys aren't going. This is unbelievable. But he's going to ship some Georgia Beer Company to you.
Thank you, Gator. Do you have Sweetwater? Sweetwater is or what's the other one? Hold on. I got to make a pick or a couple picks here. Right. Sweetwater is one I definitely know.
Don't take a Texan, Ryan. I think you have enough.
I know. I'm glad CJ Stroud went, so I didn't have to.
Because you would have wanted to.
I might have thought about it. I'm like tie my whole league to the Houston Texans.
I know. I mean, it's an investment.
All right. I'm gonna skip quarterback another. I'm gonna go rookie and go.
Well, I mean,
good pick.
So Josh is saying his home leagues. See, it's really important that we know these things. But your home leagues and normal home leagues are probably two different things, Josh. That's what I'm.
No, my home leagues, like my oldest league, these guys draft quarterbacks in like the 4th round.
Really?
Early, yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Big like 4 or whatever, right? You'll get the big 4 on. But Ryan, what's your thought on Odunze? Because I think he is going to be fantastic.
Obviously, I think you got a wall of talent. It's going to be two things have to come together. It has to be a rookie quarterback come together and the rookie wide receiver come together. But we've seen a lot of that actually work the last couple of years. We've seen really young guys and rookies come in and absolutely wreck it. So they've got Keenan Allen, they've got DJ Moore, but I think he's a different kind of player that if Caleb Williams hits, I think he's going to be big.
I agree with you. And I think there's you can't forget the idea of 2 rookies growing together, like the quarterback and the wide receiver. And I think they just have this little bromance that I love.
Dame Overboard agrees that it's definitely heaven. I'm assuming that Sweetwater's in Atlanta.
Yep.
Not real. How about Colony? I believe Colony is because my wife lived in Savannah for a long time. I believe Colony was a brewery we went to last time we were there. The woman had bees. I remember that.
Bees?
Bees. Yeah, she was like a bees. Yeah.
Bees?
Meredith. I remember was her name because we've talked about her for years just because she was so excited about having beers, about having bees, not beers, but bees and beers. But Savannah's great because there's a certain part of the city that is like blocked off where you can walk around with a beer. That like City Market is just there's no like traffic, so you can just like walk around with open container, which is pretty cool. So Savannah's
I've never really been to the South. I'd like to go to the South.
I would say I used to want to retire there, and now I'm like in New York. It's so freaking hot. Like I can't imagine what the South is like. So
Are you in the city?
No, I'm about 90 miles north of the city.
Okay.
The city is gross and smells like pee.
It does. And it does. Especially in the summertime.
Yeah. Facts. So, I mean, I go down, I host the Scott Fish Bowl down there. I go down there for certain events, and then I get the hell out, and I come back up here where it's like green and trees, and everyone moves slow, and I'm very happy.
I love that. Okay, so who do I pick now? Now I'm in a bit of
You
a
should
pickle.
probably not be on the visitors convention center or anybody, Ryan. If you're talking about a city like that,
But I still host this kind of football draft. I love those guys, and
of
it's a
course.
wonderful time. It's a great group of people. We had such a good turnaround from year one to year two, and God, it's just like I told them in the group chat. I feel like Vince Vaughn and dodgeball, and they're like all the average Joe's gym people. Like I do the organization. They all have a fun. We drink a lot of beers and have a great time. Like that's the Scott Fishbowl New York City draft. It's the freaking best. They have the greatest group of guys and girls. Thankfully, we had a few more girls this year.
Yay!
Good. I was going to ask about that.
We had one last year, and we had three, I think. This
Sorry,
year.
you had one last year?
One, four drafts, one woman, and she was awesome.
So many at mine.
No, I know.
Like three. There were three of us in my division, and I feel like there was at least three in every other division.
You're in LA, right?
Yeah.
LA's just got like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it's New York City. We have Josh went. I'm glad he had a good time. Like I feel like we have more like industry people. We have more women. I don't know why they don't come to the event yet. I'm hoping that happens next year. But we had two drop out within like a couple weeks before. So we had like 7, and then we lost a couple.
Oh wow. Okay.
So
we had two. We had 2 last year at the Chicago Live Draft, and this year I think we had 3. We had 3 just in my division.
That's great.
And there were so it definitely grew. Scott Fish was really very. He was like, "Hey, we need to change that," because he came on the show. He came on another show I was on, and I told him, and I'm like, "We only had 2 women last year." He's like, "That needs to change," and it did change this year, and I'm hoping that it gets even better next year.
Yeah, that's what we need all over the place. Is more women joining into fantasy football, and I think we've made like great strides, but there's still so many more to go.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So on the quarterback run, we had quite a few go. We had 6 of them go in that round there. But I did notice, like Joe Burrow was one of the last big names taken. So
you mean Slim Shady? Sorry.
That was just terrible. What was up with that? But you know what? He could wear a clown wig, and I would still like him. So
I love him so much.
I do too. So, but do you think are people kind of in a single quarterback league, especially, are they kind of shying away from him a little bit because like he didn't go until one of the last top ones?
I mean, it seems like it, but I don't really know why. Like he has 2 of the top 20 receivers in football. They're still going to throw plenty. Their backfield situation is kind of up in the air. So there's a little bit of injury concern. And like Julia said at the top, there's so many like quality quarterbacks now. And that has, pushed him down to, what is he, the 9th or 10th or 12th, quarterback taken. But I think he's going to be a huge value this year. I don't think there's anything that's going to stop him from being the great quarterback that he's been his entire career. And he's got, with Higgins and Chase, there's not too many wide receiver duos that can challenge that.
I think it's a recency bias. Like he was not great for a lot of the year last year, and then he was injured, and it's like you kind of forget about it. And it's weird, but I think I said it maybe a couple weeks ago. Like he's the poor man's CJ Stroud right now, right? Like he's pretty much exactly CJ Stroud, but he's going 2 or 3 rounds later. He's this pocket passer. He's got good receivers, all that sort of stuff. So, I think he's gonna have a good year. Okay, what am I gonna do here? What am I gonna do?
I would like to bring up another situation that we can talk about. Is Geek Mill picked in the 9th round as Javonte Williams? So to me, like the Denver backfield is one of the more muddied one in all of football. Like I feel like in the last week, the conversation has been Javonte's gonna be cut to Javonte's number 1 to like. I have no idea. Like the entire Denver offense to me is completely a conundrum. Like, who's going to be the quarterback outside of Cortland Sutton? Like, who's going to be the wide receivers? Who's going to be the running back? Like, Denver to me is probably the messiest situation in fantasy football.
I mean, I think I feel pretty confident it's going to be Bo Nix, and I feel pretty confident that is it. And that's pretty much all, like same thing. Like, I think you could have any combination of those running backs start the year, and we would all be like, okay, that makes sense, you know. And you could see Javonte get cut, and we'd be like, okay, that makes sense. Like,
well, Ann is the believer of Javonte. I don't know, Ann.
I can't.
You called me kind of wimpy, Ann, so I'm not sure if I can get
nervous.
on board with that.
You can't
just
badmouth the host, Ann.
Taylor Swift versus Slim Shady. Oh my God, I love that. I love that. But if you say, you know, Slim Shady is still a little bit Detroit, so
very Detroit.
Yeah, very Detroit.
So when you have the smaller leagues, you know, such as your home leagues, your office leagues, things like that, do you tend to avoid some of the rookies? You don't really want to dig that deep, do you? I mean, there's not that deep of a bench in some of these, right?
You know, I feel like, I don't want to bring baseball up on a fantasy football show, but
do it.
Like,
help us understand, Ryan.
Well, I feel like we've seen guys come in and we've seen them make impacts earlier than previous. Like, I feel like a lot of teams now are taking these first round picks. God damn, I was going to take Chase Brown. And I feel like a lot of these guys have made impacts earlier than they have in the past. So I don't know that you can just necessarily avoid rookies anymore. I think that you know, they come in and they make in certain situations, in the best situations, I feel like they can come in and do something right away. So I don't think you, even in shallow leagues, like this is what, 15 rounds. I don't think that you can just brush rookies aside.
I completely agree. And I think opportunities like this, where it is like a home league, and some of like our mock drafters will know more than some other, you know, home league players who are just turning on the podcast on August 1st. They're just getting into it. They're gonna have a better idea of these rookies that have great opportunities that could really hit, and versus waiting for them to pop up on the waiver wire in like week 2. You know, these guys will go to their waiver wire and be like, oh, Bob over there already drafted him, so now I can't get him.
Bob in accounting.
Classic Bob.
Okay, I like the Brandon Sue pick right there, Brandon Cooks. I think the Cowboys going to throw a ton, and after CeeDee Lamb, there ain't a lot there. So I do like the Brandon Cooks there. I've drafted him in a lot of leagues.
She's a Cowboys fan too, and she's got Dak.
That makes sense. And Elliott. Yeah, if I didn't take Shaheed, well, I think it's going to be, you know, have obviously an increased role in New Orleans, and I think they're going to have a better offense with new coaching. I think he's overvalued in Scott Fishbowl now that that's over. I'm not sure he's going to be returning all the kicks with this increased role, but anyway, we're not here nor there tonight. But I like Cooks, you know, scores 6-8 touchdowns, and you know, he's a boomer bust kind of guy, but when he booms well. If that's English.
He booms big.
He booms big.
Well, and since I did bring up Brenda, I know I've asked about stacking before, but in something like this, I mean, when you can get Dak in the, you know, round that she got him in, you know, are you opposed to stacking in just a home league, Ryan?
No, definitely not. I mean, what's better than having the quarterback and the receiver to throw to? So Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. Oh, you just scored 17 points in one play. So yeah, obviously in DFS that's like a huge part of DFS games. But yeah, no, in regular drafts, I think that's perfectly. I'm not so huge on stacking the quarterback and the running back, because although, you know, that's a team scoring in a couple different ways, it also isn't bad. But I would definitely, I like the quarterback wide receiver stacks for sure. Yeah, I'm not married to it. If I draft, so I drafted Brock Purdy, am I married to picking one of the 49ers receivers? No. But if it happens, hey, that's fantastic. But I like drafting 2 Texans receivers, apparently.
I didn't realize I was going so high T with my running backs, and I don't ever draft this many running backs. I don't know what happened. I think I just didn't like the wide receivers at these spots. So this is a lesson. It was an accident. But this is the problem. It's going to get back to me, and I still don't like any of these wide receivers.
Oh, there you go.
shoot. Like, I don't love Tyler Lockett. I don't love Judy. Don't love Davis. Don't love Dotson. Blurg.
Avian Wicks.
Well, and why Julia is
you know what? I am deciding between him and this person who I think might have a big year.
Go for it.
So we'll go with that.
Well, why she's deciding, and then we're going to ask how you decided that. I want to be sure and tell everyone to hit the like and subscribe button. Show us all the love as we keep this show going. There's so many great shows on Club Fantasy and WOFF channels. So when you subscribe, you never miss any of them. You got Mock It Like It's Hot, Summer School, Dynasty After Party, Mocking with the Stars, Masterclass, No Punt Intended on Wednesdays, Trade Block. They've got mock drafts, DFS, Best Ball Dynasty. They have everything. So, make sure you do hit that like and subscribe for us, you guys. Thank you. Little plug.
So your swipe up, like the kids say.
Do the kids say that for real?
I don't know.
You know what?
I don't know. You have a daughter? She's 16. She knows.
18 and 16. Every time I think
that like button.
Every time I think I know something, they say they're like, we don't say that anymore. So I don't know. I've given up.
All these words that these children are saying.
I'm like sus, and then like, no, don't.
Oh,
do
yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, sus is apparently over already. I didn't even know it started, and it's over.
Like somebody posted something about like brat summer or something.
Oh
I
yeah,
was like,
that's I think.
What?
I think Kamala Harris started that recently, but yeah.
I have no idea. No.
Right.
Yeah, listen to Gator, you guys. All right. Julia, I think Scampers is a little supremely
I don't know what you're
dislikes
talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Not just a little. He wasn't just a little upset. Julia, tell us about your day on the set today.
I had a very long day, Wendy. Thanks for asking. We were shooting outside in delightful 103-degree heat, and it was outside, and we were outside all day, and it was really warm. Yeah. So
Do you go back tomorrow?
Yeah, we do. Thanks for that.
Nice.
Yep. Thanks for reminding me. Back in the same place tomorrow, Wendy. But like next week we have a day in Long Beach. So that's actually gonna be like it's a long drive, which I hate, but the weather will be really nice in Long Beach. So I am not minding that. So
are you staying hydrated? Because you have got to
are
the people like passing out?
No, like when we were working after COVID, we had to we were like the first show back, and I had to wear like a blue like surgeon thing, and I had to wear gloves, and I had to wear a face mask, and I had to wear a face shield. Wow. And we probably lost 3 to 4 people every day from heat exhaustion and heat stroke. And I have a really funny story actually. Hold on. It ends well. Nobody has a whatever.
Oh, thank God.
That's good.
Yeah,
we don't want to edit. That would really put a damper on the stress.
I know.
Well, we did all this, and then someone died.
I know. Spoiler alert.
Lord.
Okay, let's see though. I'm gonna have to pick someone.
How's your IPA, Wendy?
Well, it's getting warmer, and as it gets warmer, So
you know what I'm really excited about? So tomorrow is our local SPCA golf tournament, which my wife is the board president, which makes me very involved in the SPCA.
Oh, nice.
So I get to sit at a golf hole tomorrow and watch people try to get a hole-in-one with a dog and a cooler. And that's going to be my day tomorrow.
That sounds delightful, actually.
It is going to be fantastic. That's my day tomorrow. So unfortunately, I have to get up at like 7 a.m. So that kind of sucks.
I don't feel sorry.
That's not early. I'm up at 4 tomorrow.
Oh God, Julia, no. So
that's why I go to bed at 7 if I can. I'm up at 4 so I can go work out before I go to work.
Cooler beer. That's right, Gator. We got the Juicy Joy. My friend donated a bunch of beer to the tournament, and he's like, if the juice doesn't make it to the golf tournament, I don't want to know anything about it. So I'm like, that's my man. So most of the juice is not going to make it to the golf tournament. It's going to stay in my fridge, and the rest of the beer is going to make it to the golf tournament. So
she needs a big old industrial fan.
I have purchased several small portable fans. I found a couple that have like built-in misters. Got a whole system.
Mm-hmm.
Got a whole system. I have them like tied to my chair. I have my own umbrella. It's a whole thing. Okay, really quickly, my story. So during COVID, they had got the hair and makeup department, they got us like a cooling van, but they couldn't close the door because of COVID. Like they couldn't close the door to the van. So all like 6 of us were in there, and we were in there for a while. And like one of my girls was like, I don't feel good. Like I just feel really like out of it. And I was like, go home, blah, blah, blah. And then everyone else started feeling sick. And then a couple of people started vomiting. And then we realized that the exhaust was coming in through the van, where it was at. So we were all getting like carbon monoxide poisoning.
Oh, that's a great story.
I know.
But
I know.
it has a happy ending, everyone.
Well,
It has a
guys,
happy
everyone
ending.
No one died.
No one died. Okay, so this is a bit of a pickle for me. Okay.
Do you have a tight end? I'm just kind of looking.
I do. I have.
Okay.
I got him.
Mark Andrews. Okay.
Yeah. But you know what? I have to stay on brand, so we will do that.
I was wondering if you
I know.
he got your team.
I know. You got to get him on there. He's.
You know what? Unfortunately, you have rubbed off on me now because guess what? You're making sure.
Get on it. I don't think it's a bad love. And you know what? If it's not right, then you can just drop him.
This is true.
That's a bad message for the children.
That if you don't like him, you can just get rid of him.
Just get off it.
Just yeah. Oh man, that's funny.
Pop's here. Tootsie Pop
Hi.
in the house.
Hey, Rachel. I don't get a hello. Thank you.
It's coming. It's coming.
Oh, bestie.
Oh, I
You
get
got
bestie.
a bestie.
Wow.
There you go.
Dang.
Wow.
Clink. Thank you, Rachel.
Oh, look at that. Okay, so in these kind of drafts, do you really have to take 2 tight ends? Can't you just pick one up later if you need one during a bye week?
Yeah. Wendy, okay. I didn't need to draft him. Let's be honest. I didn't need to. But
I'm just asking. I'm asking to help our people.
I know. But to be fair, I'm also looking like there's no one else I really liked like in that area. So I was like, I'm not going Pearsall, not going Quentin Johnston. I have 27 running backs. I don't need another one there. Yeah, I mean, there gets to be a point kind of at the end of the draft too, like take your guy. Like if he's like Gator was like, yeah, I won't leave a draft without him. Yeah. So take your guy. It's more fantasy football is more fun when you're cheering for the people you want to watch, right?
I'm with you. And
unfortunately,
it's not even just
Rachel.
Like,
I have to work, Rachel. I'm so sorry.
It's not even. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean,
yeah,
it gives you a little bit of flexibility at the position. It stops you from having to pick up probably garbage on the waiver wire for tight end for that bye week or injury, which we know happens. So I don't think there's anything wrong with taking a second tight end. I'm probably about to do that when my pick comes along because, like you said, we're getting fairly thin at this point. So I took 2 quarterbacks. I don't think there's anything wrong with taking 2 tight ends. It's the waiver wire is not only kind when you need it. So yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with
yeah. Well, and then you
That's good. I like it.
And then you pick whoever your second tight end or quarterback or whatever it is. You're picking somebody who has a huge potential upside, right? And then if they hit, it's like free money. It's free money. It's like anyone who managed who grabbed Puka Nacua at the end of a draft last year. They were like, this is fun. Like, didn't see this coming,
I will say I was in that situation. And again, I'll go back to my Scott Fishbowl live draft. So there's this guy there that was probably the drunkest of everyone. And I remember like hanging with talking to him at the end of the draft. And it was my last pick was during, because I do the slow draft because you can't host in draft. And I was like, who do you think I should pick? And it was like Puka Nacua was right there. Like, I'm like, yes. And so that's who I picked as my last pick was Puka Nacua because the drunk guy told me to do it. And that turned out to be a gem. So
do you know what his name was?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Seth Keller. Okay. Yeah. He came back again this year. He's awesome. He's a fucking cool guy.
Did he get drunk and tell you who to pick with your last pick this year?
Not as drunk this year, which was disappointing, but still pretty drunk. Yeah.
No. He had a good
who was your last pick though, Ryan?
That's a good question. You know what? My draft was much slower this year, so it wasn't ready to be done when I got there. But let me pull up my team real fast. My last pick was probably.
Who I have?
Greg Dulcich maybe was my last. Oh no, Theo Johnson. Theo Johnson, I think.
I don't hate that pick. It's my turn.
I don't either.
Scott Fishbowl too. After this mock, we're gonna circle back and I can see. I got Ben Sinnott in Fishbowl too. So I have Sinnott and I have.
Did.
Well, and I have Hunter Henry, and George Kittle. So I was very happy about that.
Oh, George Kittle, my man.
I know, and I never have him anywhere. I got quite fortunate there. I know.
That's right. That's right, Josh. Draft drunk. That's the only way you can do it. I hate when people say that. Don't drink and draft. Are you kidding me? That's when you stop overthinking and you just do what you're thinking. If you have a few beers in you, you're just like, or if you're sober, you're like, who am I gonna pick? This one. It takes 20 minutes.
Overthink. Yeah.
Yeah. If you have a few beers in you, you're like that guy. And
you could just be relaxed and not drunk.
Who does that? Who does that?
I don't know. I listen to my podcast.
Normal people.
I try to go in there relaxed. Although I'm like the least relaxed person you'll meet.
Okay, so you guys have to listen to this though, because my draft, the live drafted, it was like actually in Itasca, Illinois, but it was the Chicago live draft. It was great. Stephen Johnson did a fantastic job organizing this. That guy is a rock star.
Yeah.
But I was in the 12 spot and we finished with the slow draft. But my very last pick, just because, first of all, A, you have so many picks in that. B, that last pick usually doesn't mean anything. And C, I took the love of my life because I don't want him to think that no one loves him. So Joe Milton is on my bench.
Oh, he's the one with the hair, right? No. Who's the one with the really nice hair? That's not Joe Milton, right?
Oh, no. Joe Milton. I fell in love with him at the combine, Julia.
No, hold on. Who's the Sam?
Yeah. He looks like he's like 47 years old.
I'm about to be 47 years old.
His hair.
But you're not playing professional. You're not a rookie quarterback in the NFL either.
Blew in the wind. I mean, sir.
17 days, by the way. Will be my birthday. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Sunday at the Expo.
All right. What beer are you on? Tootsie Pop wants to know, what are you drinking now, Ryan?
Did you just
pop another one?
Good Lord. Look at you.
There's the other half, Ticker Shock. Well, that's the double IPA. This one will put me to sleep when we're done. But yeah.
Oh yes, I'm 47 too, Fantasy Dog. I know. I'm 47 too.
We all 47.
All right, so
apparently.
Hey, so
I'm close to 47.
Aaron Rodgers.
You're not 47.
Yeah. I'm not. I'm close to 47. I'm closer than you think I am. I'm closer than you think I am.
And she still goes to bed at like 7.
Don't fool with me.
I am a grandma and I lean into it. But I mean, also my husband has to wake up at 3 to go to work, so it's like we go.
My hair is not going yet, but if you look at the camera at the grocery store, Gator.
Oh, those are the worst. Those are the worst cameras. The ones at Target.
The damn grocery store is on the top. It's straight down. I'm like,
I've never hated myself more than at those places. Okay, who do I pick?
But anyway, Julia, there's no way you're near 47.
Okay.
Like, what's near?
I mean, I'm gonna be 44 this year.
Damn. Wouldn't I?
Thank you.
Here's to you. I mean,
we were showing photos on set, and I pulled a picture up from like my college days, and I pulled a picture up from when I graduated hair school. And our wardrobe guy goes, "Julia, you have Benjamin Button disease," and I was like, "I will take that. Thank you very much."
Absolutely, every time. Yeah. Don't make me put the blonde wig back on.
I know.
Yeah, Ann and I. Stop it, you young whippersnappers. Ann and I are real close to the same age, so I'm with her on that. I love her. I'm gonna get to see her at the expo. I'm so excited.
Who's Fantasy Dog? Someone loves me.
Yep.
I don't know who that is, but thank you.
You have fans everywhere, Ryan.
I take all the love. I take all the love that I can.
Oh, Brenda and I, we're together too. We're together too, Brenda. I think she's going to be at the expo too.
Nice. I love all the new folks every year at the expo. It's always so great to like get to see new people. Is the absolute best, and I can't wait. So my birthday's 15 days away. So 2 weeks from tomorrow is when I'm going to show up there.
Nice.
When are you coming, Wendy?
I will be there Friday, probably around 1:00 or so. I'm driving. It's probably around 6 hours for me. By
It's not bad.
myself. It's not terrible. You know
Oh.
what? By the time I would go over, park my car at Midway, fly in, get another car to rent, 6 hours, I'm just driving.
Flying out there was the hardest thing for me. Like, it was
Yeah.
so not easy to get to that part of the world from Los Angeles. It was just like, it takes forever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I like driving. I'm with you, Wendy. Then you can come and go as you please.
Yep.
You have your car
Would
there
have
to
my
go
own
to
car.
different things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean,
And there's
I have
no
to leave.
Ubers there. There's no Ubers.
No, there is. It just takes a really long time if you're lucky.
But it's a great event.
I know.
I can't wait to go.
Oh, I know. I am telling you. And, we have so many more women going this year that I know for a fact, which is so great, especially with the Unwind chat. I'm seeing everybody, they made all their plans and, so we have a big dinner and, all the ladies get together. Yeah, we're really excited for it. Really excited for it.
Well, let's celebrate that Friday party a little less for me this year, since
I will not get off your lawn.
The Friday party won't be my birthday, thankfully, because I celebrated a little bit too much. Last
oh yeah, there's a draft going on.
Yeah, we did do a draft, bro. Yeah,
that's over. The draft is over. Yeah, what are we doing?
Let's see.
Yeah, here we go.
What teams do we like then? We did do a draft, so let's close it out. Whose teams do we like?
Yes, let's look.
Ryan, what do you think of your team? What do you think of the one?
I mean, I think I did a pretty balanced draft. I think I got a good quarterbacks in Purdy and Tua. I think I got McCaffrey, Stevenson, Chubb. If Chubb bounces back, I think in the 9th is awesome. Charbonnet has got some big playability. I think I got 4 really good receivers. I think I'm pretty balanced. I'm pretty happy with that.
I like that Kamani Vidal pick. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, it's a nice upside pick in the 13th round. Let's take a look at yours.
All right, let's see. Yeah, I don't hate it. I'm very surprised at Julia picking all the running backs because I don't do it. That is not on brand for me. But I got my James Conner, so that gives me joy.
Love that.
Yeah, he's a national treasure. I like my stack there. Calvin Ridley, I think, will bounce back. I think that Tennessee offense might surprise people because Will Levis loves to throw that ball super far. I think he might be kind of oh my God, why can't I think of his name? The quarterback from New Orleans, Jameis. I think Will Levis might be the next Jameis Winston, which I wouldn't hate at all. I think Brian Thomas. I think Devin Singletary is the most boring pick you could make, but will be the starting running back. And I got him so late. I took a gamble on some rookies that I think will have some good potential. Jalen Polk. New England's very unclear who will be the wide receiver there. I think it's going to be Polk and Hunter Henry are going to be the 2 targets, basically the main 2 targets. So, yeah.
So Ryan, are you a Patriots fan? Right?
No, I'm a 49ers fan.
Wendi.
Oh, shoot, that's right. I'm sorry. I keep thinking Boston. I don't know why.
I don't know why either. No, I'm a long time 49ers.
You know why?
Like an
it's
80s
probably
49er fan.
It's because of this.
Yeah, you're hitting the IPAs too strong.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful.
I didn't even do any gummies. I skipped the gummies.
You get that 5.4%, and you start thinking I'm a Patriots fan.
Oh my God!
Everything goes off the rails.
So I cannot drink anything more than 5.6. That's got to cut me off, you guys. Cut me off.
Man, I can't wait to the expo. Let's talk about Foxworth taking 5 receivers to start the draft.
Yes, that is very interesting. And they are all. And look at those 5 receivers, though.
I mean, that's fantastic. And you know what? She didn't even do that. Like, let's look at the rest of the team. She ended up with Joe Burrow. She had David Montgomery, who, as much as we all love Jahmyr Gibbs, like when David Montgomery's healthy, he's an 18 to 20 carry back. Najee Harris, but at towards the end of the year started to do well. Chase Brown, he's gotten a lot of coach speak in the past week or so. Frymouth as a tight end. I don't, and she came back with Herbert at the end. If you start with 5 wide receivers, I don't think that's a horrible roster build from top to bottom.
And this is a great question. Why is Justin Herbert falling to round 15?
It's recency bias. It's recency bias.
I think it's a combination of Jim Harbaugh ran the ball a lot in college, and he lost Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, who, by the way, were hurt a lot anyway. So there's a lot of receivers that we don't know their names, but I still think Justin Herbert chucks the ball a lot.
100%. Yeah. And getting him that late.
Yeah. Oh my God, the last round, Justin Herbert. That's giant steal.
All right. Well, gosh, you guys, this has been so much fun. Thank you, everybody. We're gonna just go ahead and wrap things up. So, Ryan, can you tell us what do you got going on these days over at your place there?
So I work for Spotlight Sports Group, so a lot of my work is behind the scenes. So a lot of it is, player projections and things you don't know. So when I come on shows, I always like to promote my friends. So I like Mauricio Gutierrez. Go to M Gutierrez NFL. Drew Davenport, find him on Twitter. Brian Drake is on SiriusXM in the mornings. God, I'm gonna forget a bunch of people off the top of my head. Damn it. But just look at stuff I retweet. They're my friends. They do great work. Casey Kasem, go to Sunday_Dreamers. Get a great fantasy football T-shirt.
I got them. I've got some.
All the great women of fantasy football. There's just so many people that do great work, and I'm working on getting my blog Fighting Chance Fantasy back, but it's not really back there yet. So there's nothing really to promote. So please find my friends. They're wonderful people. They do great content, and of course, everything you do, Wendy, is fantastic as well.
Oh, thank you, Ryan. Well, Julia makes it easy. She is just so wonderful. Julia, what do you got going on when you're not hanging out here on Thursday nights?
I mean, I'm in bed. Just kidding.
She's looking at her watch. Come on, let's wrap it up.
You got, all my stuff is I've got lots of written stuff over at Fantasy Footballers and also over at Footballguys. And and also if you are interested in reading about CrossFit, the CrossFit Games are coming up, and I write for the Morning Chalk Up. So we are in the midst of that. That is about 2 weeks out, and so lots happening right now.
Awesome. I see that. And you take care of yourself tomorrow. You stay hydrated, woman.
Thank you, Mom.
All right. So we will return next week we're going to try something, probably another, home work league mock. We're not really sure what day yet. We're working on that. We'll let you guys know, but this has been we will. This has been episode 8 of WOFF's Mock Girl Summer. You can find us here on the Women of Fantasy Football and Club Fantasy FFL YouTube channels every Thursday. Well, mostly every Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll have different guests each and every week doing different drafts to help you get ready for your 2024 football leagues. For Julia and Ryan, I'm Wendi Earley. It is a Mock Girl Summer, y'all. Have a good night.
Hi, good night.